back. We're going to do a little test here. Baseline before I run this guy. Looks like it's 58 degrees. Probably hard to see in the camera. But let's send it and see what happens. That's surprisingly cool. Looks like it's 60 degrees still. $64. All right, so it went up like 4 degrees. That's a way to check the temperature real quick. Do a quick burnout, and now let's see what we got. Dang, dude. Underload's driving. This is still 63.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Huh.
In the house, doing the test last night, just turning it left to right, it went up to 88.5.
Huh.
So it's actually cooler when you're running it.
Right.
Air cooled, maybe. Interesting. Let's see what the rest of this looks like. Oh yeah, look at that motor. The motor's surprisingly cool though too.
Yeah?
Yeah, 80. Let's see what the battery looks like. I put electrical tape on everything I'm checking temperatures on, because electrical tape's the best transmitter of heat.
Really?
Yep. It doesn't reflect anything.
Huh.
The only thing better is a black hole, and I don't have any of them laying around.
What?
A black hole.
Black hole?
Yep. Yeah, this whole truck's mostly 60s, dude. Other than the motor, which, I mean, I wouldn't expect the motor to be too cool. Yeah, that servo really only went up a couple degrees. Alright, so experiment number 1 with the PowerHobby 729 MBL servo. I'll show you a picture of it in a bit, but what we have here set up is a handheld thermal imager. I have video recording just back in front of it. We're going to fire it up, turn on the controller, and see what kind of results we get. So while I'm turning this all on, I'm going to explain what we're doing here. We're going to fire up the truck. I'm going to watch the ESC, the motor, and probably the servo all heat up. As you can see, you can kind of see my fingerprint where it touched. Here the truck's turning on. Let's get in there and see what's heating up. So already you can see some heat starting to go right where the ESC wires connect. Let's see. It doesn't look like anything in the motor. Let's check out what the battery looks like back here. Battery still looks cool. Connections still look cool. Servo still looks cool. Alright. Well, let's start firing it up and see what happens. As you can see right there, it looks like it's starting to heat up a little bit as I do it. Started out at low 71. Now that center right there is starting to heat up. I'll have to go back and see what the front looks like on the other one, but you can see that starting to heat up really good as I do this. The more and more I turn it, the more and more it heats up. So now we're up to 75. Started out around 71. And we'll keep going, see what it does. And just going back and forth, left, right, left, right, left, right. We're up to 76. Definitely catching some heat here. We're up over 76 in some spots. Let's check that electrical tape. So I'll explain what I'm doing here a little bit. Is I put a piece of electrical tape on 2 parts of this servo here. The reason why is that's going to be your most accurate point. Some of that servo is shiny. Some of it's indented, some of it's painted, some of it's not. Electrical tape gives you the best reading. Right now we're up over 77 on that piece of electrical tape. I gotta slide the truck back some. Get it back in target there. And let's get going again. So we're up at 80 now. We're pretty close to it. I have to put something on there maybe to keep that thing steady in a bit, but I mean, this is pretty hard back and forth, and you can see clearly where all the heat's forming on here. You got the venting parts, they look like they're 78, but then you hit in the center there, and you're definitely getting over 80 now. Get this back over here again. Alright, I'm going to keep turning that, but I'll maybe do it a little slower. But let's check out what the ESC looks like. So still not too bad. Still looks about the same. Haven't powered it. Transmission hasn't done any work. Let's take a peek. You can see some heat on the ESC, but not really much. Mostly right there where the leads plug in. But let's get back to the servo. Gave it a break for a second. Alright, so that thing, whether it's moving or not, seems to be sitting pretty steady in the 80s. Alright, let's get a temp here. 88.5. So that's the highest temp I got on there right now. 88.5. And that's a little lower in the front. So maybe some of those gears are absorbing some of that heat. Let's check the servo horn. Now the servo horn's up to 80. Probably get in there to that screw. Look at that. The screw's even hotter because that's directly in the servo. Now that ESC's been working a little bit, you can see that heating up. So test number 1 done. Looks pretty cool, that's for sure. We'll see how it stacks up against the other brands. To be continued.